Good afternoon. Today we will discuss about the accessory air breathing organs. Okay. So today we will see what are the accessory air breathing organs in some of the fishes. Okay. What are the different new organs or the organs which are modified to support the breathing in the air. Okay, so if you remember a very first class of mine, okay, when you got the admission, okay, in the very first class of mine of FRM, I used to ask from everyone one by one what is fish. Okay, and you people used to say some characters about fishes. Okay, so today before starting this accessory air breathing organ class, I would again like to listen from you people. So just tell me, just define me what is fish. Anyone? Anyone? Define what is fish. Otherwise, I will name everyone one by one, admission number wise. Amarnath? Yes. Just tell me what is fish. Amar? Okay. Anju?
Hello.
Hello. Amarnath. What is
Yes.
fish?
Uh,
Fish
fish, fish is aquatic vertebrate, man.
aquatic vertebrate and
Bearing gills for swimming, gills
bear,
for breathing,
bearing gills for
breathing,
breathing. Okay.
and fins for locomotion.
And fins for locomotion. Okay. Very good. Okay. Now, so we will discuss from that point only. Okay. Fishes are aquatic vertebrates. Okay. Cold-blooded animals that have gills for respiration and fins for locomotion. Okay, that is a generalized definition if we talk about the fish. Okay, so as we know, we are talking so the gills. Okay, the gills is the main respiratory organ of an aquatic species. Okay, if I'm talking about the fishes, the gills are the main organ which is responsible for respiration in aquatic environment. The organ which is responsible for respiration or the gaseous exchange in water. Okay, but you must have seen whenever you used to visit the local market. Okay, you people used to go to the local market, na? Is it? Hmm? Where vendors used to sell the vegetables, meat, and fishes. Okay, so whenever you visit your local market, you found that some of the fishes they are selling which are already dead. Okay, and some of the fishes they used to sell live, and that fishes were kept live in a very less water. Okay, or in the bamboo basket. Okay, which have a very less in the turbid water. Okay, but fishes are still alive in those containers. Why? Because these are, can you tell me what are those fishes? Any example, Shrikant?
यस मैम
हाँ,
मांगुर हो गया सिंगी हो गया
yes.
मांगुर सिंगूर एंगुला
Anguilla, very good. Okay, so there are some of the fishes you used to find in the local market that they are they survive outside the water, or they survive in a very less water, turbid water, or they survive in a containers which doesn't have a water at all, but the species are still alive. Okay, so these are actually the some of the fishes or the group of the fishes that have gills for respiration in water, but when they come outside the water they have some specialized organ to breathe in air. Okay, so gills are specialized for breathing, or the gills are specialized for breathing in aquatic medium or in water, but these fishes have developed some organ or some other strategies to develop um, to survive outside the water. Okay, so these group of fishes they evolved. Okay, they have some evolved structure or the special structure which help them to survive outside the water or in the hypoxic water or very less water. Those organs are known as accessory air breathing organs. Okay, so in today's class we are going to discuss that what are those accessory breathing organs in fishes. Okay, so on this slide I have listed some of the organs which serve as a accessory breathing organ or the accessory air breathing organ in the fishes. The very first one is the skin, followed by gills. Now you will ask that, ma'am, gills is a main organ inside the water. Then how gills can be the accessory air breathing organs? Why it can be? Because yes, gills are specialized for breathing in aquatic medium, but some species have some modification in their gills, or they have some extra mucus secretory cells in their gills that can also help outside the water. Means with the help of gills they used to breathe normally inside the water, but that gills also have some specialized cell on their surface that help the fish to air breathe. Okay, so gill his hair in some fishes it also serve as an accessory air breathing organ. Then there are some group of fishes where the alimentary canal, the intestine, the stomach, even in some fishes the rectum also served as a accessory air breathing organ. Then air bladder, as you know, the air bladder is basically the organ of buoyancy which helps the fish, okay, to maintain the buoyancy in the aquatic medium. But in several fishes this air bladder also serve as a accessory breathing organ. Then the buccopharynx, the reason in the buccal region or the oral region and the region of the pharynx, okay, that also have some modified structure, some specialized structure for accessory air breathing. Then there are some diverticula, some organs formed from the wall of the branchial cavity. Okay, so they are known as the diverticulate of branchial cavity or the diverticulum of the opercular cavity. Means there is some specialized organ formed from the wall of the branchial cavity or the opercular cavity which serve as a accessory breathing organs. Now the last one is the neomorphic organ. Neomorphic organ means which have a totally new origin or the totally new structure which is developed by a fish to support the accessory air breathing. Okay, so now we will discuss all these accessory air breathing organs one by one with some of the representative fishes we'll also see. So very first the skin. Okay, so in several fishes the skin, the outer skin become highly vascular. Okay, and they have a large number of mucus secreting cells. So with the help of that, when the fish come outside the water, what happened, the skin starts secreting lots of mucus. So with by this their skin kept uh, moist, and because the skin is very thin and highly vascular, the direct diffusion of gases takes place between the blood and the air. Okay, so and there are some of the examples I have cited here, like anguilla, Amphipolis, Amphipolis quichia, Musta cymbalus, Rita, Periophthalmus, and Polyophthalmus. Okay, so these are the some of the fishes in which their skin function as an important respiratory organ, same like the amphibians like frog. Okay, so these fishes have an ability to move out of water and migrate to the another water body through the land. Okay, in a short distance they can travel from one region to the another for the suitable water body. Okay, during the summers or drought. So you guys remember the trip of Digha? Yes or no? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
we had where we have the sample collection. You remember the Shankarpur harbor that we have visited last
Yes,
in
ma'am.
2019, na?
Yes, ma'am.
And when we were there on the harbor, there were some fishes which were moving on the mud. We have also kept 1 or 2 fishes. Shrikant was catch those fishes and we kept in a poly bag and we take it with us. Remember or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
of you have remembered that?
Yes, ma'am.
You remember, na? So
Yes,
have
ma'am.
you remember this mud skipper? That the fish that we have taken was actually this species, the mud skipper. Remember or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? So these are the fishes which can these fishes we seen there and they were moving simply on the mud and then they were on the creeping on the stones also. Okay. Then there is another example of the eels. Okay. Just see in the drought the entire water is basically because of the drought no water is there, but these eels, okay, they actually comes inside some the soil which have some moisture. Okay, in this here because there is no water, they use their skin for the respiration so that the gases
मैम
exchange take.
मैम
Yes,
इस फिश का लोकल नेम क्या है? इस
किसका?
जो अभी जो फिगर में देख रहे हैं हम लोग ईल का
eel
जी
eel का बाम है कुछ जगह तो
मैम बामी इसी को बोलते हैं क्या?
गैंची माछ गैंची।
बा eel,
नहीं गैंची इसको नहीं
बहुत
बोलते
सारी
हैं,
species
बामी मैम इधर हमारे उधर बोलते हैं।
देखो ईल जो है ना बेसिकली 2 ऑर्डर्स हैं जिनके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को हम ईल बोलते हैं। एक है आपका एंगुलिफॉर्मिस जिसमें आपका कुचिया ईल्स आती हैं, ठीक है, एंगुला है जैसे। देयर इज अनदर ऑर्डर व्हिच इज नोन एज सिम्ब्रैंकिफॉर्मिस जिसमें आपकी जिगजैग ईल आती है, पिकॉक ईल्स आती हैं। तो जो स्नेक लाइक बॉडी वाली जितनी भी फिशेस होती हैं दे आर जनरली नोन एज ईल्स। ओके, कुछ मेरिन्स भी हैं, कुछ फ्रेश वाटर्स हैं, कुछ ब्रैकिश वाटर भी हैं। तो बेसिकली ये जो है स्नेक लाइक फिशेस जिनको बोलते हैं, तो बिहार में इस तरह की फिशेस का जो कॉमन नेम है दैट इज बाम ओनली। ओके,
यस मैम बामी बामी।
ठीक है। So here they actually respire through their skin. Now another is the gill. Okay, so there is a very popular catfish, the Rita. This fish is very abundant in the Gangetic water. Okay, and then another is eel from which is known as a Mustus embulus. Okay, so these two species, although they have this Mustus embulus have vestigial gills, through the help of those gills they respire inside the water. When they come outside the water they respire with the help of their skin, as well as their gills are modified to for the gaseous exchange in the air for some time. Okay, it's not a regular, but for some time their gill can perform the gaseous exchange in the air also. Okay, so just see this is the catfish, okay, which is taken just out from the mud. Okay, and these so their gills are specialized to means there is for gaseous exchange outside the water. Okay, this is here also see the leaf, there is basically this like cornea below this there is no water, just the moisture. Okay, in this moist condition also they use their gills and the skin for the respiration. Then there is another group of fishes which they use the part of the alimentary canal, okay, as a respiratory organ. Okay, these fishes are commonly known as gab means gut air breathers, means their gut means it may be the stomach, it may be the intestine. Even in some fishes the rectum also store the gas and it can use for the gases exchange. Okay, so that's why these fishes are also known as the gut air breathers or gab. This fish, anyone can tell the common name of this fish? Have you seen this fish?
Yes ma'am.
It's a very common aquarium fish, okay, which is known as a sugar mouth catfish. Okay, whenever you visit the restaurants, hotels, or any people who used to have an aquarium keeping hobby, people used to have these fishes. Okay, this is known as a sucker mouth catfishes. This is basically actually the fish which is belong to the family Loricaridae. Okay, so these fishes, their stomach actually have their stomach have some modification, and their stomach used as a air breathing organ. We'll see in the next slide how. Then there is another group of fishes which is known as a chobitid. This is the image of Lepidocephalactis guntia. So in the representative of Chobitidae, the family Chobitidae, okay, these animals use their intestine as respiratory air breathing organ. Here we'll see how they use this is the some of it's the diagram of the gut air breathing organ. Here you can see that this ABO represent air breathing organ. So what happened, this basically in in some reason, not the entire gut, okay, but some part of their stomach or the intestine, okay, they become a specialized region for the gaseous exchange. What happened, the muscles around the this region, okay, the muscle, generally there is some of the muscle around the gut region or the cell layer around the gut region. So what happened, there is a deminimization of the cells or the muscles around this region. So what happened, there is only a single thin epithelial layer which has high vascularization. High vascularization means there are lots of capillaries. You just see here lots of capillaries around this. So what happened, a localized region of the gut become thin, vascularized, and have cellular capillaries there that can penetrate the luminal epithelium. What happened, fish used to engulf the the fish used to engulf the air, okay, and that engulfed air passes to their stomach or to the intestine. And when this air reaches to these specialized region, okay, which is separately from the portion which are digestive, okay, and when they reaches here, because the wall is very, the gut wall is very thin, highly vascularized, the gaseous exchange takes place, okay. See, here is one the histological comparison. This is the gut of the fish which used to have gut as a air breathing organ, and this is the intestinal histology of the Labiorhoita, which doesn't have a respiratory air breathing organ as his gut or the intestine. Okay, so here is this a filled lumen, but when you see here in the Lepidocephalus species, this gut is totally empty. It has a huge lumen, whether it's the anterior gut, mid gut, or the foregut, mid gut, or the hind gut. There is a huge empty space. Okay, lumen is there. Okay, so this is how the structure, the gut structure in the GABs get modified for aerial respiration. Okay, now what, as I have told, what modification used to have in these fishes, the wall become extremely thin, transparent due to the great reduction of the muscle layer. And then what happened, the inner layer, which consists only the single layer of the epithelial cell, become richly supplied with the blood capillaries. Okay, and the mucus secreting cells, or the cells which secretes the digestive enzymes, which are totally absent in this localized area. Okay, so that's why these particular region of the gut served as a accessory air breathing organ. And in some fishes, like in loaches, I have told, the fishes of the family Chobitidae, what happened, their intestines serve as both, because this is an intestine or gut, so it major function is digestive. Okay, but in loaches it have both the function, digestive as well as respiratory. So what happened, in summers, when water becomes less in the channels or the tributaries or the in water bodies, so what happened, their digestive tract or the gut or the intestine become respiratory in function. Okay, so their alimentary canal function as a air breathing organ during the summer seasons when water is less, and in winter it becomes digestive, it becomes non-respiratory, because in winter water is there, sufficient water is there, so there is no need of the air breathing. Okay, so they simply used to breathe through their gills in the aquatic medium, and their intestine attain the function of the digestive function. Okay, now the another accessory air breathing organ is a air bladder. Okay, as I have told, the air bladder is an organ of buoyancy in the fishes. Okay, but in some fishes it is especially modified for aerial respiration. So these are some of the representative which have modified air bladder. Their air bladder have the alveoli and the saculi, which is very similar in structure and function to the vertebrate lungs. Okay, so these are some of the fishes like Polypterus, Amia, Lepidostachys, then Zimnaricus and Dipnoi. Okay, these are some of the fishes. Majority of the fishes in this group is basically the primitive fishes. Some of are the Sarcopterygian fishes. Okay, these are the fishes which have which modified their air bladder very in the form of respiratory organ, which have very close similarity in terms of structure and function as a vertebrate lungs. Okay, so this inner layer of this air bladder have the dense network of the blood capillary, which facilitate the gaseous exchange between the blood and the air, which is contained inside the air bladder. So these are some of the representative. This is the Polypterus. Okay, this is also known as a living fossil. Then long nose gar, Lepidostachys. Then this is the Gymnaricus niloticus. This is the only representative of this genus. Okay, Gymnaricus niloticus. And this is the another lungfish. Okay, Dipnoi. So these are the fishes. Okay, which have the modified swim bladder as a lung. Okay. So now the buccopharynx. Okay, the region of the somewhere near the pharynx or the neck. Okay, which have so in some fishes what happened, the epithelial lining or the epithelial cells of the buccopharynx region become highly vascular. It have it have folds or plates to increase the surface area. Okay, for gaseous exchange, for the efficient respiratory exchange. There are some of the examples of there are some of the example like Periophthalmus, Bolophthalmus, Amphinus, Electrophorus, and Channa. Okay, so Channa is a species which have the most advanced condition. Okay, where the line epithelial lining of the buccopharynx is modified as a respiratory organ. Cochia eel is another example where also the gill okay, basically in the fin fishes what we have seen, there is a 4 gill arcs, 4 pairs. Okay, so in this Cochia eel what happened, the first and the fourth is reduced and only second and the third gill bear some gill filaments. Okay, so so here also what happened, there is basically a tubular air sac is formed in the buccopharynx. Okay, or these sacs are basically developed or diverticulated from the pharyngeal wall. Okay, which are highly vascular in region. Here we'll see. So this is basically the reduced gill of the Cochia eel. Okay, and above this there is a one air sac is formed, which is diverticulated or originated from the wall of the pharynx. Okay, so this huge air sac, so when this fish is outside the water, what happened, this they used to engulf the air which comes in the air sac, which is present in the buccopharynx region, and this air sac is highly vascular, so the gaseous exchange takes place. Okay, now there is another fish I have told, the Channa, in which also the buccopharyngeal region or the suprabranchial region becomes specialized for the air breathing. So this is the gills and this is the region above the branchia. That's why this is known as the suprabranchial region or the suprabranchial cavity. So in suprabranchial cavity, there is a formation of the air sac, which is basically diverticulated or developed from the wall of the pharynx. Okay. So this air sac is highly vascular. So when the fish used to engulf the air, it goes to the air sac, and here the gaseous exchange take place. Okay. Then there are some species in which the opercular cavity is modified. The specialized organ, the organ for the air breathing, they developed from the wall of the operculum. Okay, so there is two very common example, the mud skipper, the periothalamus and the boliothalamus. Okay, here we'll see, just see, this is the example of, this is the mud skipper or the boliothalamus. You just see, here you see their operculum becomes soft, bulging balloon like. Okay, means, or here you can also see, okay, so their opercular bone becomes soft, it bulge out, okay, like small balloons on both the side. Okay, so when the inhaled air is passed through the gill slits, what happened, this, that gas is stored sometime in this cavity or the balloon like structure, okay, where which is actually a modification of the opercular wall. So gaseous exchange takes place. Okay, now the air breathing organ in Singhi, the Heteropenistis fossilis. Okay, so in the Singhi there is basically three organs which all together form the accessory air breathing organ in Heteropenistis fossilis. That is, it have two air sacs, okay, on both the side, one fan and then the respiratory membrane. Here you can see in this Heteropenistis the air sac is tube like. Okay, it has two tubes, one on one side, another on the another side. Okay, so this is basically, this is just above the gill chamber. So what happens when air passes through the gill, it goes to this tubular air sac, okay, which actually goes up to the caudal region. Okay, so what happened, this is basically it forms in the opercular cavity and it extends up to the caudal region. Okay, so these sacs are thin and highly vascular. So when airs come in the tubular air sac, okay, when fish is outside the water, the gaseous exchange takes place. Okay, then the breathing organ in another catfish, that is Claris batrachus, which is commonly known as margur. Okay, here also there is basically the three organs which all together form the air breathing organ in Claris batrachus, that is the suprabranchial chamber, the rosety, the fan and the respiratory membrane. Okay, so here we can see that these are the gills. Okay, the first gill, then the gill, then gill fans, and then some rosety or the arboscrant organs. Okay, this is also known as the rosety, which is folded to increase the surface area, highly folded, finger-like projections they have. They are thin, so they're highly vascular. So in the suprabranchial chamber, actually this rosety, fans and respiratory membrane all together forms the air breathing organ in the Claris batrachus that helps in the respiration outside the water. That's why the Singhi and Margur, they actually survive without water for longer time. Okay, because they have a very well developed specialized organ for air breathing. Okay, now the air breathing organ in some other fishes like Anabas and Trichogestion. These two fishes are the member of the order Perciformes. So they have a specialized, a very spacious air chamber and the one specialized organ for breathing. This organ is known as labyrinthine organ. This labyrinthine organ is several foldings. Okay, to increase the surface area, it is thin, warm and highly vascular. Okay, so the gaseous exchange can take place effectively. So the Anabas testudinus and the Strichogastricolis of fasciata, these are some of the examples or the representative which have the specialized air breathing organs for aerial respiration. Okay. So here, this is the comparative sheet where you can see that here is a simple air sac. Here in the Channa, the specialized organ which is diverticulate from the pharynx, the wall of the pharynx, then the labyrinthine organ in the Anabas, then rosety in the Clarius, then tubular air sac in the Heteropenistis. So this was about today's class.